Welcome, welcome. This is Marnie Swedberg. I am your host for this second in a four-part series that's occurring on the weekend of WEF Bangalore, which is a Women's Economic Forum. And we are gathering some of the speakers at the forum to talk through some of these business concepts that I just like to pick the brains of some of these other brilliant and successful women around the world and share that information with you guys. So thank you for being here. And feel free to add your questions or comments, and we'll get to as many of those as possible. Oh, back to you. Sandi Mitchell is a best-selling author, CEO of Apex Catalyst Group, and executive coach of learning and development, business operations, sales, and management. Where are you hailing from today, Sandi?
I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth. So you're very close down here in the southern continental USA, and welcome to you. So let's dive right in because we have so many guests here. I want to get to everybody. And Sandi, when you were just starting, how did you attract customers?
Marnie, I went to every networking event I could find. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, happy hour.
You were there
all the time. I was exhausted, Marnie, and what I found is that most of them really weren't my clients. So I had to stop and say, all right, what's the smart thing to do? And so I started doing EOS. It's the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And one of the exercises they have you do is really figure out, like, what's your niche, right? What are those, the people who are your people, your tribe? And when I did that, Marnie, when I honed in and I figured out, oh my gosh, what I really love are business owners of privately held companies like that 10 to 250 employees. And what I have found with my clients is that they are all family-based and all faith-based. I didn't look for that. It just, you put it out and people started attracting. Yeah.
So is that what you're doing differently now, or have you kind of morphed? Yeah. So actually then, now that you've identified your ideal client, which was pretty much your first step, right? They aren't going to be at networking events. So where are they hanging out? Where do you find them?
Yeah, the interesting thing is when you niche down, when you really figure out who your people are, then it's a lot easier to find them. Right. So now I go to organizations that are a lot of family-based leaders are in. I go to places that the small business owners belong to. I'm the lead faculty for the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program here in Dallas, and I work with the national program. And so that gives me a lot of connection to people who are my people.
So instead of going to networking groups, you actually just serve in locations where your natural clients are going to hang out.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about first, right?
Love that so much. Sandi, out of the things that you have heard so far, I'd like you to just for 1 minute or 90 seconds, give something that came to your mind that you're like, oh, I wish I could tell them this.
Yeah. One of the things, Marnie, that I think is really important, listening to everybody talk, is the consistency in what we're saying is that you have to know who you are and really share who you are, and you will attract the type of people to be your clients, to be your vendors, and to be your employees. And if you don't put that authenticity out there, if you try to be what the world says we need to be right now, then you're never going to be happy. So it's all about authenticity.
Awesome. Beautifully said. Okay. And final thoughts, Sandi.
Yeah. I think the three things that I like to do, one is simply ask people what's going on in their lives. And go beyond the I'm fine, right? Really start to figure out what's happening in their lives, because especially in a time like this, it's crazy and it's affecting both our personal and our professional lives. Really listen for what's going on so you can make those connections, and then ask them, is there someone else? I really love to ask my clients, is there someone else that you love, that you work with, that could benefit from this as well? And I find that the people who really believe that what I'm doing with them is affecting change in both their business and their personal life, they can't help but make referrals.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you, Marnie.